Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Aleksandar Adzic on the line, and he's a writer, director, producer over at Sunlight Productions, and this interview is part of our American Film Market AFM series where we bring you the best of those who attended, participated, really in all of the above at AFM this year in Los Angeles, California. Aleksandar, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. And it's Thanksgiving Day, so I'm thankful for being on your show and being on FM. Yes, it's a thankful show. Thanksgiving, yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I want to get into what you're doing over at Sunlight Productions and, of course, getting into the movies and what you've written and what you have coming up. But before we do all of that, AFM, how did it go for you today? Or how did it go for you this conference, I should say, not today, but it was packed. I mean, have you been to AFM before? Is this the first time? Talk to me.
This was the first time I actually went. I never been to AFM. I went to Cannes Film Market in France, but I never went to AFM. So I was really pleasantly surprised. I really loved it, and I met many people. It was very different than France, of course, but I think I met a lot of people and positive people. It was great conversations and very spontaneous people, very open and talk to each other. I learned a lot about some parts of the business that I didn't know much. So I got some new information, how to proceed with my plan, what I need to do and stuff like that. But also I met some people, connections that I can work with in the future. And I follow up with them, and we'll see how that will develop. But overall it was great, yes.
Yeah. I always find it's an interesting dynamic because you have the business people there, you have the creatives there, you have some of the talent there, the actors and stuff. It's kind of like just this big mix of everybody at one time, and I feel like deals are getting done. Am I off on that, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think many deals are getting done right there. I think it's a very big market, especially if you have a big palette of films to sell, or if you are looking for an agent or a producer, or if you are developing. So there is a lot to talk. There's a lot to be done. So if you know what you're doing and if you are scheduling the meetings, we have an app that's very, very amazing what they do. They give you an app so you can basically schedule meetings prior to the event 2-3 weeks. So you can schedule the meetings, who you want to meet, and confirm the meetings. That way you are not just walking around and looking for people, but you have meetings every day. There was panels, there was screenings, so you can attend some panels, learn some stuff, and you can have meetings. And on the other side, there's also dining area where people can chat in a dining area, so that's like casual, where people meet. And I met a lot of people in that casually, what was really interesting.
I was just sitting there like eating and grabbed something, and I'm like, just strike up a conversation with random people. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was very like open. You can really literally talk to anybody because everybody's there to meet someone, so it's very interesting.
Yeah. Let's switch it up a bit here. So I do want to get into your work as well and what you're up to, but maybe let's start with your background. So how did you get started in film? Where did all that start for you?
Well, it started I always loved films. In the 90s, I would spend days and days watching archive movies from 20s and 30s. But I never thought about making films until I came to the States in 2007. But I started school in 2010. I didn't even think about until then. And then I finished the film school. It was like hands-on school. So I made like 10 short films while I was in school, and I finished it in 2015. And then I tried to explore the career and looking for jobs and directing, and try to explore more directing. But it's very hard to find a budget for bigger movies. So I keep doing short movies and small music videos, productions like that. And then last 3 years, I started writing. So I was into writing. So I was really into that.
How many screenplays have you written? Talk to me a little bit about that piece.
I was on a fire. I was just so inspired last 3 years. I just couldn't stop. So every morning I would write, and I just get into this writing mindset. I never understood the writers until I started writing it. So
Wow.
I wrote, the last 3 years, I think I wrote 11 feature screenplays.
Oh my gosh.
He was really inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been on fire, huh? That's interesting. We need more writers out there. I love that. I love when somebody gets this like creative mode, and you know what I mean? I think it's interesting when you can put that kind of output out.
Well, I had like ideas before, like as a director, okay, maybe I can give the treatment to a writer and then write. So sometimes you need to wait for writers for a year to give you a first draft, depending to whom you're working with. Then I was like, why I just don't try to write it? At least I can express what I want to say. And I started doing it, and I was like, wow, David Lynch was right.
Wow.
David Lynch inspired me, I think, in a lot, and Tarantino. He would have this idea, use a notepad and a pen, and just kind of use one pen to write a screenplay. And that kind of stick in my mind, so that I would go to Big's Boy every morning, and I just have a notepad, and I would write. So I wrote everything on my notepad. Everything was written by hand. I never wrote on a computer. And then when I would finish the screenplays, like a second draft, I would rewrite in the final draft, of course, and then protected it. But everything was written by hand, so it was really like a journey. I really loved this process the last 3 years. It was very productive.
Man, so that's amazing. What a great story. What kind of films have you been working on lately? What have you directed, or talk to me about any projects?
Lately, the last project I did was just before the COVID. It took us many years to finish the product because it was very challenging, post-production, coloring, and editing. And finally, we finished the film in 24, and then we found a distributor in late 24, and finally the movie is now on Amazon Prime. It's distributed in the States, North America, but they're working on it to distribute internationally, and people can find it. And I'm really proud of that film. It took me many years, but I really love that. It's a documentary feature. That's my first. It's called The Lioness Within. It's about...
So tee it up for me, because I want people to go check it out, especially because you could see it on Amazon Prime. That's awesome. Go ahead, please. The Lioness Within. Go ahead.
Within, yes. It's about Graciela Casillas, who is a grandmaster this day, but she was a kickboxing and boxing champion of the world from 78 till 85. And back then, the women were not respected in sports, especially boxing, kickboxing. And she was paid like $50 per round, and she was completely underrated and undefeated. She never lost a fight, and she retired undefeated.
Wow.
And nobody knows about her, and in martial arts world, people know about her. But in general, like people who live in her city, in Ventura County, they don't know who she is. Many people don't know.
Wow.
So I was blown away with her story, and I always loved martial arts, like especially kung fu movies. And I was like, I want to meet her. I met her daughter randomly, and I met her. I said, I would like to make a movie about you, but I don't have a budget. I don't know how I can do it. And she says, don't worry. If it meant to be, we will make it. And 7 days after, one producer approached me. He says, you have any projects going on? He saw my short film. And I said, I have this idea. He says, we are doing it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! And I'm looking at I didn't know she was. I'm gonna watch this. So I'm watching it for sure. The Lioness Within. I went on Amazon Prime. Super easy to find, and it looks amazing. What was it like putting this together?
It was a really mind-blowing experience on all levels. I almost died, I think, because I had to work like some random jobs to pay the editing because we didn't have a post-production money. So that was a challenge. And editing, I had to change 3 editors because of many problems. And then COVID happened in the meantime. And then it was like very challenging. But I'm so happy with the end product, how we finished it. And we screened the film in the Cannes Film Festival last year. Yeah, it was very interesting. And we promote the film there, and we talk about it. People wanted to know, and it was interesting. Now she has a big school she opened, and she's a real grandmaster. She's if you watch the movie, you'll see she's skilled in multiple skills. Like she was trained by Danilo Santo, who was Bruce Lee's sparring partner for 10 years. He taught her all the skills, like Jeet Kune Do, Jiu-Jitsu. She knows like everything.
Wow, that's amazing. And thinking about what keeps you strong, I'm always curious about this, because to give birth to a movie like this, it's a big project. Like I'm looking at it, it's beautiful. From what I can see, like the story, everything else. But you went through a lot to make this happen and to get it to the end. What keeps you strong, like during those hard times?
Well, I think it's a respect. I really respect that woman, and I really commit to that project, and I want to keep my word. I want to do what I said I will do, so I don't want to keep it halfway through. I like to finish stuff. When I start something, I keep pushing myself, and I believed in a project. I think that was maybe I just felt that needs to be seen, that story needs to be told. Even with the budget that I had and the skills I have, I said it has to be out there, and I didn't want to stop. And many times I could have stopped and just give up, but I just keep pushing, and somehow things open, some doors open. I ended up coloring film with one of the best colorists in the world for free. I met him. He literally colored Guns N' Roses. Listen to this. He colored the Nirvana. I mean, all the music videos Nirvana, Michael Jackson, Thriller.
Wow. No
and I was
way.
like blown away. He says, Alex, I love this project. I will do it for free. I want to see this in the movies. And he started coloring, and I learned about coloring then in depth. He was like a Picasso, painting every frame. That's like mind-blowing to see.
Wow. Get out of here. That's what a blessing. I love it. I feel like sometimes the universe, it'll reward you if you're working really hard and you're trying to make something happen. What a great story.
And the poster for the film was done by the guy who did the poster for Breaking Bad. Can you imagine? That was also really out of nowhere. Just a friend of Graciela. He says, I will do it. Don't worry.
Wow.
And he did it. And I was like, wow. And that was like just one of those things. But there were so many things that just, you kind of feel when you are pushing something, you feel that doors are opening. You got to keep doing it. And you need to balance stuff out. Of course, you can't just break the wall. But there is kind of some signals that kind of shows me that, okay, like when I was writing screenplays, I feel, this is working. This scene is working. So you feel it's happening. The same is with like AFM. People just come to you. It's kind of weird. You feel who you need to meet. It just happens.
Yeah. Man, I love it.
That's the thing, yeah.
That is greatness. And for everybody listening again, the Lioness Within, go check this out. It's on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna check it out myself, and who knows, I might be calling you back. I love the way it looks already. I was watching the trailer, so this is awesome. Well, Aleksandar, this has been great having you on the show today. So we're recording this on Thanksgiving. It'll be out after, but we're heading into 2026 real soon. We're going to blink and we'll be there. What's next for you? Like, what's next? What's next in your plan?
I am now finishing. I finished the circle of writing, so I will still keep writing, but I'm going to develop this movie. I was looking for producers co-producers and productions that will be interested in the work that I did, and I'm excited to see these screenplays in the theaters. So that's my goal for the next couple of years. I'm going to be in action looking to sell the screenplays and make some of the movies.
Fantastic. If everybody is listening, what's the best way for people to connect? What's the best way for them to reach out?
They can find me on LinkedIn or Aleksandar Adzic, or they can find my website, aleksandaradzic.net, or Sunlight Productions. They can contact me there, or Instagram, Vitaminosa. That's a little interesting rockabilly name. Yeah.
Fantastic. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links and head right on over and connect. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show, each and every day bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Aleksandar, thanks again for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Adam, for having me, and happy Thanksgiving, man.